Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Okay, I promised you last week to actually write out those 3 words. Remember which 3 words? In Chinese or in English? First word is Oi? No, that's the last one. Qie, Metta. Right, yeah, good, Versha. What about the second one? What about the second one? Which is the second one? Karuna. Not corona. Karuna. remember when we talk, well, I'll talk about that. Remind me to talk about that, yeah. So, Metta, loving kindness. Metta is the Pali term in ancient Indian language. Is called Pali. Metta. Similar to loving kindness, that means what? Giving joy, happiness to others. So that is the Chinese word. But you see, that is the heart mind, the one which is circled in red. Can you, next slide please? Circled in red, yeah. So that is the heart mind. So split up these 2 words, okay? That's what Chinese is actually made up with, many words. So this means here, right now. Here. And this, the heart mind. You see? So Metta is developed basing on the heart mind at this moment, right here, right now. So this is Metta, loving kindness. So the heart mind of wanting happiness for others. So what is the second one? Second one is, oops, sorry. That one is the wrong animation. The second one is karuna, compassion. That means wanting alleviation of sufferings of others. Karuna. So also, karuna is actually have the basis of a heart, you see, on the bottom. The heart is on the bottom, okay? So this is how karuna is made up. The top word means faith. Faith, that means not yes, not no. So there is no bias, no discrimination. And then on the bottom is also the heart mind. You see? So these 2 words actually have the basis of the heart mind as the basis. So with Metta and Karuna, the most important is actually developing of your own heart mind. And naturally, when you are developed in that, then you will naturally share these feelings. So when we talk about Karuna, I remember, I think it was the second last, or I think it was the last session that we were in the prison. No, we were in the prison. Yes, we were in the prison. We were in the prison teaching the 8 factors to happiness. So we were on the 6th factor, I think. Well, we missed two factors, and then one meditation, one day meditation. So we missed 3. So we were on the 6th factor on this Eightfold Noble Path, and we were talking about karuna. And you know what? There was this inmate friend, a very young fellow. He was probably in his early 30s. He said, "Sister, we all should develop this karuna rather than corona. We should spread this karuna. Don't spread the corona." It's true. He was right. He was correct. We can see actually nowadays that we are not spreading corona, we are spreading corona. Right? So you can see in the world, really, right? The virus, we're spreading the virus of hate, virus of craving. That's the coronavirus. So we should actually all develop in this corona and spread this. Okay, so the third word is love. So this is actually very commonly used. I love the sight of ice cream, and I love eating ice cream and all that. Okay, so it's very difficult to illustrate this word in Chinese because I don't know how to actually, unless I use handwriting. It's very difficult to split them up. So you see, where's the heart mind? Right in the middle of two words, two symbols, you call them, two parts of the word. So this is the top part of one word, the top part of one word, okay? And this together with the heart. And the bottom part of the word, that together with this first part, with the first part is this word. It's feelings. Feelings. So the heart, mind, is trapped in the feelings. Trapped right in the middle. Can you see it? Okay? So with love, we are trapped. We are trapped in the feelings, either physical or emotional. We are trapped. So when we are actually as a practitioner, we should vow ourselves to develop in metta, in karuna. That is an unconditional giving of this wonderful quality of the mind. But whereas love, which you commonly use, or oi in Chinese, is trapped in the feelings.
Attachment.
Yeah, attachments, very strong attachments. So attaching to the feelings that I love or that I'm being loved. Or I love ice cream loves me. So isn't that true? Ice cream loves you. Oh, Kwok said yes. Why? Why is she petting you and you're pointing to her?
Ice cream does love me.
Oh, ice cream does love you, eh? Yeah, Eva said that ice cream does love her. No, sweetness does love you. Chocolate, ice cream, pies, all the sweet stuff. Okay, so you love sweet stuff and sweet stuff loves you. So you're trapped in the feelings of sweetness. Okay, so oh yeah, because last week I told you I was writing a card. I was writing a card to one of the friend in the prison, right? So that's why I wanted to bring it out to you how the importance of the development of the heart mind, the cultivation of the heart mind or the mind is so important. If you develop it not in the metta way, not in the karuna way, or you develop in this sort of loving way, then be very careful. You're very easily trapped. I remember I was trapped. A few years ago, or I could go back to maybe 7, 8 years ago, I remember, yeah. Mr. T in the prison, I told you he didn't come for 1 week, he didn't come to 2 weeks, and I got so worried. I got so worried what happens to him. He must have done something, and that's why he couldn't come, or he wanted to give up, and blah, 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 blah. So I had all these stories, churning in my mind. And when I was walking out of the prison, I thought, no, this is not right. This is not right. I can't do this. I'm trapped. I'm trapped by wanting him to come to meditation. So I said, no. If he comes, that is his own merits. If he doesn't come, that is his own karma. And I cannot change anybody's karma. So then I said, I have to let that go. So I let that go. So he asked me, did you worry about me? I said, yes, for the first 2 weeks. But the third week, no. He said, oh, only for 2 weeks? I said, well, that's long enough, isn't it? That's really long enough. Okay? So remember, it's trapped. It's trapped in between these two words, two parts of the word. Okay? So it's trapped. Okay, so tonight we are actually studying moral discipline. We go back to the book, Moral Discipline. So it's very, very clear, very self-explanatory, but I just want to do a summary for you. So the Buddha said he said, monks, there are extremes of merits, extremes of the wholesome nourishments of happiness that are heavenly and ripening in happiness. That means the result of upkeeping moral discipline will bring heavenly happiness. Then they're conducive to heaven. That means you, at the end, the breakup of the body, you'll be reborn in the heaven. And that lead to whatever that is wished for, loved, and agreeable to one's welfare and happiness. And he says, so what are the 8? The first one is a noble disciple. A noble disciple has gone forth to take refuge to the Buddha. So, and take refuge to the Buddha. So what does it mean by taking refuge to the Buddha? So I mean, some of you have studied the Dhamma for long. You could easily answer these questions. What? Yeah?
Sorry, I'm going to do what we did last time.
Yeah, unmute everybody, and then when you want to speak, put up your hand and then unmute yourself. Okay, you're all unmute. And then if you want to speak, please let us know. Then I will call your name. Then if I know your name, I know all your names. It's all there. Okay, so what does it mean by gone for refuge to the Buddha? Do we actually admire and praise the Buddha like, oh, this is my idol? Okay, I pray to you and I admire you and you give me what I want. Claudio said, taking refuge in the qualities of the Buddha. That's good. Irene, yeah, unmute yourself, please.
Return to the Buddha.
Say that again, please. Can't hear.
Return to the Buddha.
Return to the Buddha. Okay. Return to the Buddha.
Going back.
Going back. Where is the Buddha?
Here, in your heart.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Yeah, you return to the Buddha nature. Yeah? Yeah. Ramin? Ramin, yes.
Oh, sometimes also realizing that what Buddha taught us, it was to be unbonded.
Unbonded.
In an unbonded way.
Go back to the unbonded way. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's literally, actually, yes, that is actually Dhamma, when you go back to the unbonded way. Okay, Ramin?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Anybody else? Okay. So going back, returning, gone for the refuge to the Buddha. if you could actually interpret it this way, is the Buddha is a teacher. And you take a refuge to the teacher, that means you actually listen to your teacher and look up to your teacher and respect your teacher. And remember in chapter 3 we went through that. We have faith in the teacher. We go and ask questions. And we examine the answers. And we contemplate on those answers. Okay, so when we talk about the answers, it's gone to the Dhamma already. So the Buddha is the teacher, and we would like, gone to the refuges as Buddha is, we would like, when we develop on this path of the Dhamma, we would like to become such person ourselves. And Irene was right in a sense, is we've gone back to the Buddha because we feel safe. Refuge. You take refuge. You feel safe, like a baby, like a child, having the mother, holding their hands while walking along the street. Or when they feel uncomfortable, when they are in distress, the mom put them to her chest. The child feels very comfortable. Okay? Knowing the eternal truth. Yes, that's the second one, the Dhamma. Okay, that's the Dhamma. Dana, that's Dhamma. Okay, so the first, taking the refuge to the Buddha, is you actually develop, looking up to the qualities of the Buddha and wanting to develop the same qualities as the Buddha, because he is the right teacher, and you'll be safe with him, and what he taught you is correct. Okay, so he said, the Buddha said, those who have gone to the refuge to the Buddha, it is a stream of merit. It's a stream of merit, and it is a stream of the wholesome. Of course, because the Buddha, what are the qualities of the Buddha? Karuna, Metta, equanimity. Ramin, yes? Yes, Ramin?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, okay. Yeah. It is one, yes, and Claudio is that sila. Yeah, those are the qualities of the Buddha. And so there is the whole stream of wholesomeness there. Okay? And then the nourishment of happiness. Because of the streams of merits, because of the streams of wholesomeness, they act as spaces. They act as a base, a very strong base to develop that happiness. And the happiness that is heavenly. Okay? So that is nourishment, and that is heavenly, ripening in happiness and conducive to heaven. So whoever has taken the refuge or in the Buddha and so forth and so on, with the Dhamma and with the Sangha also, is actually will bring on all these results, and that leads to whatever is wished for, loved, and agreeable to one's welfare and happiness. You say, wow, really? That's miracle. That I take refuge in the Buddha, then whatever I want, I will get. Whatever I love, I will get. Does it mean like that? So the Buddha, taking refuge to the Buddha is like magic. I went into, I had a site meeting, and then I saw these two men cutting up the ephus. The what do you call? I call it ephus. There is the outside wall. The outside wall. There is stucco on it. Okay, so they are cutting it up with a saw. They did not wear a mask. And so I waited until they stopped. I said, you should wear a mask. He said, I heard you. He was very polite. I heard you. I said, you know, it's very inconvenient, but you have to protect your body for your family. And he said, I heard you. He was so polite, this young man. I said, you need this health to love your wife, to love your children. He said, I heard you. He was very polite, and then I walked away. So, you know, whatever is wished for, loved and agreeable to one's welfare and happiness. So I think wearing a mask would really help him, because there's so much dust, but he didn't want to wear it. I think it's very inconvenient, and he can't breathe, probably with the hot hair and the harness and the mask is just too restrictive. So that leads to whatever is wished for. That really, does it really mean that anything that you want, you get? Does it really mean that in here? No? Versha, you shook your head. So what is on your mind then? Versha? Unmute yourself, please.
I think she's stuck.
You're stuck? Okay. Okay. Okay, Catherine. Catherine from San Francisco.
We still have to listen to the Buddhist teaching,
Okay.
and understand them, and then practice.
Okay. All right.
To get all that.
Okay. Good. Good. Versha? Yes.
So I'm looking at the letters A, B, C, D. I think that first we have to enter the stream, and then we have to understand what is wholesome. Then we have to, like, there has to be that nourishment and that development of those things, and then that has to ripen. So all of that has to happen before we
get it. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is in the end.
Yes. 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 It's very good. Ramin, you put up your hand. Ramin? Oh.
Yes, I was wondering, I missed the question.
Oh, I said, because they're here, did you see, can you see the slide, the last part? It says, that leads to whatever is wished for, loved, and agreeable to one's welfare and happiness. So does it mean taking refuge to the Buddha, I can get what I want?
Oh, perhaps we get what we need, maybe.
Okay. All right. Okay. And with
because it's a flow of life. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. With the Buddha, that there is contentment. That's true. Very. Yeah. You don't actually. Dana said, taking the refuge to the Buddha, there is contentment. So anything that you wish for, or loved to have, or agreeable to yourself, it's actually very, very minimal, very little. So it actually, life itself is already very fulfilling at that time, once you start to take the refuge in the Buddha. I don't know whether you have experienced that, after you have taken the refuge in the Buddha. Some of you have, I mean most of you have. I don't know whether you actually feel that kind of fullness, after taking that refuge. Anybody? Laurie nodded her head. Are you going to say something, Laurie? Did you? Yeah, there you go, Laurie.
Here. Okay. So I was thinking that before you start walking on the path, you might think a whole lot of things would make you happy, or drugs or intoxicants or any other thing might make you happy, or wealth and fame.
Yeah.
But as you walk on the path and develop more wisdom and discernment, then you realize that those things aren't your true source of happiness.
Yes.
So that's what I was going to say.
Good. Thank you. And then you realize that the things that you wish for becomes really minimal, isn't it?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. You don't spend you don't spend as much money now buying clothes and buying whatever that you like, right? Except sweet chocolate. Tissa, yes. Okay, thank you, Laurie. Thank you. Tissa, yes.
I think Buddha is three qualities.
Okay.
That is loba, that is greed, dosha, aversion, and then moha, ignorance.
Okay.
If you are taking refuge in Buddha and you are saying that you are trying to adhere to those qualities.
Yes, yes.
You are making a wish that reflects a greed that I don't think that is a proper wish. It's a wish that you say, I like to wish that I'm free of greed.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes. Yes. Free of tanha, free of ignorance, avijja, right? Yes. Good. Great. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, mute yourself, please. Everybody mute yourself. Laurie, please mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let us look at the refuge to the Dhamma. So this is the second stream of merit, and it also brings the same thing as refuge to the Buddha. So we all know that the word Dhamma not just representing the teachings of the Buddha. That is one definition to define Dhamma. But the real, I think the most appropriate definition to define Dhamma is the truth of existence, right? And that's what the Buddha has been teaching all the time. And what are the truth of existence? Is the Buddha kept teaching is anicca, impermanence, everything changes, and anatta, dependent origination. So remember, do not misunderstand anatta with or the word emptiness or sunnata with nothing, empty. That means I have to empty out my mind. No, it doesn't mean that. Remember when I taught the Heart Sutra, remember sunnata is indivisible. Is that right?
Indivisible?
Indivisible. Yeah. Indivisible, and it is actually talking about dependent origination. That means conditioned. All existences are conditioned, or all existence is conditioned. So your existence is conditioned. My existence is conditioned. This existence is conditioned. And this existence is conditioned. So the existence of this is anatta, because it is conditioned. Many conditions coming together to make this, and many conditions coming together to make this. So this is conditioned. I am conditioned. The computer is conditioned. Everything is conditions, dependent origination, depending on conditions to originate. Okay? So do not misunderstand the word Dhamma. It's just the teachings of the Buddha, because it goes one step higher. It's because the Buddha is actually taught about the truth of existence. Okay? So then the third is the refuge to the Sangha. So it brings the same fruits. It's actually a stream of merits, a stream of wholesomeness, and nourishment of happiness that is heavenly, ripening in happiness conducive to heaven, and that leads to whatever is wished for. Because the Buddha is long gone, and who carries the responsibility, the duty to continue propagating the flowing of Dhamma is the monastics, the Sangha. So I know in the West, people use the term Sangha very commonly. I think it's misused. For me, I think it's misused because Sangha in the original term means monastic Sangha. It means a community of monastics. But in the West, people start to use, I have this Sangha, that Sangha is all lay people Sangha. So that is actually, that is misused, and that will bear consequences. I've seen, you know, householders being, you know, ordained as so-called priests, Buddhist priests, and it goes into a very different tradition that was established by the Buddha. Very different. I'm not belittling the householders. A lot of householders are very brilliant, are very good practitioners, and a lot of householders are wonderful scholars. But it's very different than monastic commitments, right? So, gone for refuge, the Sangha. Otherwise, the Buddha, why would he actually say the triple gem? Why not do double gem? Why triple? There must be a reason, because the reason is it relies on the Sangha to propagate, to continue the flowing of Dhamma. Okay, so these are the three main streams of merits. And then there are the 5 gifts. He said the 5 gifts. These 5 gifts they have wonderful qualities, and the qualities are they are very pristine, pure, and they are long-standing, last for a long, long time. And then they are very traditional, and then they unadulterated and never before adulterated, and they are not being adulterated and will never be adulterated. Adulterated means corrupted. And then also it is not being despised by the ascetic and Brahmins, it's actually being praised by the ascetic and the Brahmins. So these 5 gifts actually carry all these wonderful qualities, characteristics. Excuse me. So what are the 5 gifts? The 4th stream of merits, which is the first gift, is the gifts of the destruction of life and abstains from it. Why do you think? Okay, let us finish that before I ask that question. Okay, gives up the destruction of life and abstains from it. So, and then it gives to immeasurable beings freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression. So, when we don't cause the destruction of life of other beings, and we actually abstain ourselves from harming and hurting, or even killing sentient beings, we give all these immeasurable beings freedom from fear and hostility and oppression. And remember when I talk about the different types of dana or offerings or generosity. So remember point number 2. So which one does it belong to? How many types of offerings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many? 1, 2, 3? Take a guess. I'm giving you hints. 1, 2, 3. 3. Good, Jeremy. Okay. So which one do you think this one belongs to? What is the first one? Material, right? What is the second one?
Courage.
Say that again, Irene.
Sharing of courage.
Sharing of courage. Okay.
Is the second one sharing the Dharma?
Sharing of Dhamma. Sharing of Dhamma. What about the third one then? Ramin? Ramin? Did you put up your hand, Ramin?
Yeah. Perhaps a strong faith.
A strong faith? No, that is not the types of dana generosity. 3 types.
Fearlessness?
Fearlessness. Actually, Irene always liked to use of the giving of courage, but actually is giving of fearlessness, Irene. So put that fearlessness into your mind, Irene. That is actually not just courage, it's fearlessness. Okay, so that is fearlessness, freedom from fear. Because you don't kill, so when you are standing next to beings, beings are not fearful of you. Because they know that you won't kill them. You won't hurt them. Yeah? That's fearlessness. That's a giving. That's why it's a gift. That's why it's a gift. Okay? And there's no hostility, there's no oppression. So anybody standing next to you who actually abides and abides by this rule, any being standing next to you, they will not be fear. They will not be hostile towards you because they know that you will not be hostile towards them. Okay. And then he himself will enjoy immeasurable freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression. So what goes out will come round. Boomerang. So boomerang, what goes out will come round. Because you haven't hurt people, and you will not be afraid, you will not be scared. Imagine somebody has killed somebody, then every time he walks down the street or she walks down the street, what will he or she feel? Feeling very scared. Maybe a cop will see me, I'll be caught, or somebody will have the gun and out and see me and then shoot me. Because why? He or she has killed somebody. Okay? So this is the 4th stream of merits and the first gift. So the second gift is the 5th stream of merits, gives up the taking of what is not given and abstains from it. So that means we are not taking things that are not given to us. Even though trivial things, very trivial things. Okay? I mean, even at the site, they are throwing out garbage. They consider garbage. I consider them, we can use them in the future. And I ask them, can I pick those up? Actually, this is our construction site. Anything here belongs to us. But it's a construction site. And even garbage, they need to deal with it. It's the whole site company, the construction company has to deal with it. It doesn't belong to me, even though Poland pays for it. Because they have the responsibility of looking after those things. So I need to ask them. And he said, oh, take them. So one less garbage to dump. But yet, but yet we still need to ask. And I took it during Sundays, and Monday I tell them, I took something from the site, which is garbage. I don't take anything which is not, throwing out. He who hurts fears being hurt. He who lies, he who steals fears being stolen from, or he cheats fears being cheated on. Yes, that's right, Dana. You're correct. So gives up the taking of what is not given and abstains from taking it. And that also gives to immeasurable beings freedom from fear and hostility. And also it will bring himself immeasurable freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression. So that's the 5th merits. And the 6th merits, which is the 3rd gift, is give up sexual misconduct and abstains from it. And by abstaining from sexual misconduct, the noble disciple gives to immeasurable beings freedom from fear and hostility and oppression. So it's similar as the first and the second gift. All of them are the same. So here, sexual misconduct, that means what? You should all know. Don't be shy to answer this question. You should all know the answers. I expect you to know the answers. Mark, good. Unmute yourself, please.
Adultery, sexual relations with someone who's protected, by parents or monastic or something like that.
Yes, very good. We talked about that in the last chapter, right? Yep, that's good. So those people who are protected by the family, who are protected by the community, or protected by the society, or who has a husband, yeah, or who has a wife, So those any of those are called sexual misconduct. So that is the 6th stream of merits and the 3rd gift. The 7th stream of merits and the 4th gift gives up false speech and abstains from it. So you all know, giving up false speech, it includes 4 verbal behavior. Now tell me the 4 verbal, the 4 misconduct of speech. Okay, Catherine. Yes, Catherine. Lying. Okay, 1. What about the other 3? Okay, Nora.
Would it be slander, gossip, useless talk?
Yes, good. Gossip, useless, and what else? One more. Slander. Okay, good. And thou shalt not bear what? False witness against thy neighbor. That's false speech. Yeah, slandering, harsh speech, idling, and lying. Okay, 4. So that is the 7th. And then by abstaining, it gives immeasurable beings freedom from fear. Then the 8th one, the 5th gift. What is the last one? Is gives up wines, liquors, intoxicants, the basis for negligence, and abstains from it. So we all know intoxicants include everything that actually intoxicate the mind. It includes liquors, it includes drugs, it includes substances, it includes video games. To me, it includes video games. because the video games could intoxicate people. What else could it include? Pornography. What else?
Gambling?
Gambling. Yeah, it's intoxicant, yes. Anything that actually, yeah, Paul?
Too many apps on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Young people are intoxicated.
Yeah, it's true. Paul said that too many apps on the cell phone. Not just young people. Paul said young people are intoxicated, not just young people. Now old people are intoxicated too. There is no age discrimination with apps, unless you don't install them, unless you're not interested in those. But they could be easily intoxicated. Yeah, it's a good thing that sometimes the phone will tell you how much time you spend on the phone in a week. And you said, wow, this week it has been up. That means you're intoxicated more. Okay, so by abstaining, it gives immeasurable beings freedom from fear. I guess we can go on to the next one. Let us do the reflections first then. Okay, now brainstorming. Everybody has to answer one question. No muting. Reflections. This is the most wonderful part. So what is the real meaning of taking the refuges? We talk about the refuge in the Buddha. What is the real meaning behind taking the refuges? Who is so brave, courageous enough to put up the hand? Nora. Oh, Nora.
Well, I'd say it's making a commitment.
Making a commitment. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Making a commitment to change for the better, right?
Well, to study and to practice and to try and pursue the path.
Good. Good. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Nobody? Eva?
I see it as letting go of other refuges that are really not safe. That you kind of whittle them away going towards the refuge that is.
I see. Okay, good, very good. Eva said that, can you hear her? No. She said, giving up the other refuges, which are not safe, right? And then gradually getting rid of those, and then you will be like back on this path. Yes? Okay, Tisa, unmute yourself, please.
I would say the essence of Buddhism is the Eightfold Path. So adhering to this Eightfold Path. That's what I think.
You mean the real meaning of taking the refuge is committing yourself to the Eightfold Path?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Good.
what I think.
Yeah, that's a path. That's the path. That's the path. That's the guidelines how we should practice. Good. Anybody else? Okay.
Also taking refuge, I'm sorry, I just jumped in.
Yes, Ramin, yes.
Also taking refuge is, it is kind of accepting something as protector and something that is greater than oneself.
Accepting someone who is not greater than oneself.
Or taking refuge is accepting something that is greater than ourselves.
Oh, I see.
Protector, or as something that knows.
Oh, so taking refuge is like taking refuge in somebody who is greater than oneself. Okay, so when you say that, we can contemplate on that. So does that mean that the other person is more powerful than you? That's why you need to listen to him?
Not in a sense of I don't know, powerful. It can.
Or authoritative.
Yeah, but something greater than ourselves is because when we find a teacher, is all knowing, is all.
Yes.
Is so fine and in the teaching or in the way they live and.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. It's not really somebody that's greater than you. It's somebody whose teachings nobody can surpass because he taught about the truth of the existence. So who can surpass that, right? And that's what we should look up to. And that's why taking the refuge in the Buddha means that there's nobody actually who can teach something that surpasses his teachings. That is the greatest teachings in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. And that's most important. It's not because he is powerful, he's authoritative, or what he's my boss, or he's my family running the tradition. Remember the teachings that he taught to the Kalama tribe in the Kalama Sutta. Okay? Irene,
Yeah,
yes? Yeah. Okay, Ramin?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking sometimes in continuation of what you were saying that it's been in a history and it was permanent. It was not impermanent because always it stayed and for so long and so it's so impermanent because the teaching was always kept available in a time. It was minimized and maximized, but it was always there, and it's just the timing that came out or not.
Yeah, the teachings are always there because it's the truth. It will never go away. Whether the Buddha was born or not, the truth is always there. Right? The truth of existence is always like that. It doesn't change because Buddha was born. It doesn't change because Buddha went into Nibbana. It's always there. It's always the same. Yeah? Yes, Paul?
So in that sense, I sometimes in my mind I says, okay, this is not impermanent.
Oh, it is.
It was always available.
It is not always available, but it is always there.
I mean, if you're ready, it's available.
No. Well, if you're ready, that means if your merits have ripened, you will encounter it.
Yes.
You will encounter it. But it's not always available, but it's always there. Because the truth is always there, but not necessarily available. It really depends on personal's karmic ripening. Right? Okay, Paul? Sorry.
That's
Paul.
what I was sort of
is
you have to be willing to accept the truth.
Yeah.
And you have to be even more dedicated to work towards it.
Yeah, you have to be ready to accept. Yes. And dedicate. Yeah. Good. Oh, Irene? Yes.
And find a path to free myself from suffering.
Okay. To find the path to free yourself from sufferings. Yes, that's Dhamma. Jeremy? Yes.
to me the onus and responsibility of yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yep. Good. Responsibilities of yourself by following the example of the Buddha. Right? Good. Very good. Okay. So the next question is, to you, which refuge is the most inspiring or beneficial? Well, somebody could find it the refuge in the Buddha, somebody could find it the refuge in the Dhamma. You see that? Do you see that some people really just find the refuge in the Dhamma? Important? Yeah, yeah. You see that. And then, so that's why they don't visit Sangha. They don't join in a Sangha. Or sometimes they could easily or also belittle the monastic Sangha. I remember I was in a conference and there was this very renowned professor talking about the future monastic Sangha. And what he said, it was very interesting. And he said, you see, nowadays there are so many scholars, householder scholars, who have PhDs, who have doctorate degrees, and who have such excellent academics. And the monastics have to catch up. And I listened to it. I thought, oh, wow. In a sense, he was correct. In a sense, he was correct. But in another sense, he was very incorrect. And there are many, many renowned monks, especially in the Chinese tradition or in the forest tradition. They never went to school. They were illiterate. But yet, you ask them about any sutra, and they will explain to you. Where did that come from? That comes from the wisdom. So, so that is actually very important. That's why I asked you this question. It's not a question to be laughed at. If people are actually really taking the refuge in the triple gems seriously, I don't think I will hear such thing. Would you agree? Yes, Paul?
It's because they're not experiencing it.
Oh, they think that they are very experienced.
No, they're not experiencing. They don't understand it totally because they haven't experienced it.
No, they understand. They think that is it. Really? No, I'm serious. They think that is it.
They haven't experienced it any deeper. They haven't experienced anything.
They won't.
Than that.
They won't.
Oh,
Because
I'm just saying.
Because they think that is the practice. I've seen that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is how I see that. That is how I felt at that time. I said, oh wow. I didn't have a master's degree. I didn't have a PhD degree. I didn't even have a bachelor degree in Buddhism. So, but anyway. So, to you, which refuge is the most inspiring or beneficial, you think?
Jeremy has his hand.
Jeremy, yes?
Me, I'm unable to see any of them without the others.
Exactly.
To take refuge in the Buddha, you need the Dhamma.
Yeah.
And to have the Dhamma transmitted properly, you need a teacher and the Sangha. And it just is a continuous circle.
Exactly.
I can't think of one without the others.
That's good. Thank you. And Claudio said, academics cannot replace the personal development that surfaces through practice. That's what Claudio said. That's what you said too. Okay, good. All right, then. So, somebody, okay, Ramin, yes? Or you,
I was just thinking the best refuge could be renouncing all the needs.
renouncing all the needs or all the desires?
I mean, they need to be something in that sense. I mean, there's normal need.
Oh, there's the need to be something. That means anatta. That means anatta. No, completely given up. I mean, gives up.
I guess let's aim for that one. Hopefully we come across that or somewhere nearby.
Okay. Good, okay. Catherine, did you put your hand up? Okay, there you go, Catherine. Yes?
I think the three, it's just like I cannot do without, the three are so important. Taking refuge to Buddha, Sangha, Dhamma, and also Sangha.
Yes.
Because the basic, when we first try to learn Buddhism, and this is the basic, we should start it off from here.
Yep.
So even though if you are a scholar, you think yourself can do without the Sangha part, and you have no respect for Sangha and to the master, I think you cannot surpass that. Me, the three are still the same.
I agree. Everybody agrees with that? Put up your hand, right hand. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so the next questions. Why are the 5 precepts considered as gifts? Why are the 5 precepts considered as gifts? Irene, yes?
5 precepts build sila, which is the foundation of morality, which the foundation for samadhi, and then samadhi is the foundation for prajna. So with these 5 precepts, if you stick to it, and then you reach to the goal.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, Ramin?
I'm sorry, I'm coming in too much. The 5%, 5 precepts is a gift, because when we practice it, we benefit from it, we bear fruit with it.
That's good.
We bring happiness, quietness, healthiness in the mind, and so
yes.
That's why it's gift, because when we apply it, it gives us a fruit.
Yes, it's very good, very good. Anybody else? Nora and Mark. Nora first. Mark, wait. Mark, wait.
It gave the gift of freedom from oppression and fear and all those different things to other people when you practice them.
Good. Thank you, Nora. That's very good. Mark?
Yeah, the exact same thing.
Exact same thing. Yes. You give to others and you actually give it to yourself too. So this is what the Buddha's teaching is all about. It's mutual benefits. When we walk on the path, when we abide by the precepts, we benefit ourselves and then we benefit others. So mutual benefits, and that's what the Buddha's always taught, is we benefit ourselves, we benefit others, we enlighten ourselves, we enlighten others. Huh? Oh, Dana? Yes.
For the last question, the separation of dukkha, for why the 5 precepts are considered gifts?
Yes. It's the separation from dukkha. Ah. Yes. Yes, when you actually abide by the precepts, you actually create less dukkha for yourselves and for others. Right? Very good. Welcome back. Good to see you. So are the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts in any way connected? There's a lot of brainstorming tonight. Are the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts in any way connected? Okay, Ramin?
So in some way, they are complementing each other, and so they are so interrelated, basically. Even though we separately examine it and decide this, and assess it, but it's basically in one way is they are interrelated,
Yeah.
and they are complementing each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have something to say, Eva? No? Okay. Okay, complement each other. They are interrelated. Okay. Anybody else? The 5 precepts are the Dhamma, isn't it? Huh?
No.
Nora? Yes.
Well, you've taught us that you have to have the basis of morality in order to practice, and so
Yeah.
if you abide by the 5 precepts, you'll be calmer and better, and you'll be able to better understand the Dharma and all those.
Yeah. So that is the basis, and because you abide by the precepts, you won't just go and take any other refuges in other people, in other teachings, or in any other teachers, right? So they are interrelated, definitely. Because why? Where does the 5 precepts come from? It's come from the Dhamma. The Dhamma teaches us what? To be liberated from sufferings, from dukkha, or cause dukkha to others. And so that's where the precepts come from, right? And to develop the wholesomeness, right? Because that's where the precepts come from. And you look at the Sangha, and the Sangha is abiding by the precepts. And you look at Buddha, was abiding by the precepts. And when Buddha established the monastic Sangha, that's what he actually established for the Sangha too. Okay? Yes?
I think there's a natural beauty when you see someone abiding by the precepts, not in a very strict way, but just in a natural way.
Yeah.
And it's that beauty that's also in the 3 refuges, in the Triple Gem.
Yeah. Ever said that when you see somebody is actually abiding by the precepts, not in a very rigid way, but in a very freeing way and natural way, and it's the beauty, and that beauty is also in the Triple Gems. Good, very nice. Last questions. So in the sutra, it said that these 5 gifts are pristine, long-standing, traditional, unadulterated in the past, in the present, in the future, and it is not despised by ascetics and Brahmins. So what does it reflect about the qualities of the 5 precepts in this passage? What does it mean? Why would it say it pristine, long-standing, traditional, and unadulterated in the present, in the past, in the future? So what are these qualities like? How do you see the qualities of these qualities? Nora? Oops, you mute yourself, Nora. Oh, there you go.
They're going to last you all your future lives.
Yeah, last for a long, long time. Okay, anybody else? Jeremy, yes.
That they're based in a deep truth.
It's based on a deep truth. They're very good. And Versha?
The same thing, they're grounded in truth.
Yes. You have to unmute yourself, Versha. Unmute yourself. Oh, grounded in the truth?
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing as Jeremy, that it's grounded in truth, and it's like we talk about the Dharma, which is truth, being good in the beginning and in the middle and in the end.
Yes, very good. Good. What else? Anybody else? It's just like Evan said, beautiful. It's beauty. In whatever angle you look at it, it's so beautiful. And you cannot stop praising it. It will never be despised by practitioners, ascetic and Brahmins. Never be. So that is the reflections for today. Okay? So, sorry, I put a picture there so in case I can go on to the next one, to remind myself to go on to the next one, but now I remind myself to stop. Okay, that's for tonight, is talking about morality, and I hope that tonight actually talk will have actually deepen your understanding in morality, and also encouraging you more to actually abide more to morality and developing deeper in morality. And these teachings are just beautiful. Going back to what you mentioned earlier about academics in his 10-day courses, Goenka tells a story about a Nobel Prize in physics who arrives at the same conclusions Buddha arrived at 2,600 years ago. However, one lived a life of dissatisfaction and the other one ended up fully liberated by his own effort. Yeah, yes. Thank you, Claudio. That was a very good example. We dedicate our merits. May these blessings extend to all, that we with all the other living beings together will attain the Buddha way. May we wish more and more people will encounter the wise words of the Buddha, study them, practice them, and apply them to their lives, and liberate themselves from all the sufferings, miseries, and be truly free, happy, and peaceful.